What's up, guys? So today I'll be sharing you a case study how we use a Voiceflow AI chatbot solution to help save a media production company 20 plus hours of booking time and answering customer FAQs in a week. So let's just straight into it. And for reference, this is the client, and they are a mostly videography company and a wedding photography company. And they want a Voiceflow solution that can answer customer FAQs and also to simplify the entire lead capture and booking process, right? Really standard chatbot solution. So because the client website, they don't support JavaScript, so we have to actually integrate it in the social media accounts, which is Instagram. So how the chatbot works is, let's see the screenshot, is that this is an actual customer interaction. So for example, the chatbot would say, oh, can I have your name? And this is the client introducing himself. My name is myself and my others meet you at the Asian wedding show at something else. And I think my other half, again, in the name that I can't really tell you guys, has also inquired. And then chatbot would say, okay, thanks. Can you share your full name as well? Right. So it's captured the full name now. How can I assist you today? I was wondering if you offer videography on its own. So yes, we do offer a videography service on their own. Now, this is the part. If you'd like to share more details, feel free to book an appointment or discovery call first. Now, the reason why is because the client, like the media company, actually make it really, really specific that they don't want, they want to make it really specific that they want the customer to book the call. They don't want the main conversation to take place here. They rather the main conversation to take place during the sales call, during the discovery call, right? Because so that's why this is not designed to be the best conversational platform. This is not supposed to give you the best conversational experience. It's supposed to just capture the leads and actually push for that discovery or the appointment, right? So it gives enough details, it gives enough information to answer some very general FAQs. But once it comes down to really specific questions, or once it's actually once we have a chance, the model will know to try to prompt the user to try to book a call with them, right? And as you can see here, we also have different buttons because on Instagram, it's actually much easier to have these options to say, oh, if the user has another question, if the user say, oh, this response doesn't answer the question, or the user basically say, that I understood now, right? To make it much easier than rather than saying this back and forth. And but this time, in this case, the user doesn't actually click any of these buttons and just say, thank you so much for your help, anytime, and they want to have them book the call, right? So this is a great example of you trying to prompt the kind of customer to book a sales call with the team, right? And of course, I'm not saying this is the best conversational experience model that we've built. It's not, because it's not meant to. And I know that we can try to make it better by breaking this into chunks maybe and try to make it a little bit more human, humanize the entire response, right? I understand that. But again, the ultimate goal is trying to push for that appointment in this chatbot solution rather than having the entire conversations in this platform. So let's actually jump straight into what happens. So in the backend, you will actually have a start. You will have a unique identifier, and then you'll ask for the full name, right? The user asks the question, and the media company already has an information sheet provided to us. So we just configure that into the Voiceflow knowledge base. And the Voiceflow knowledge base then plug to a summarizer, right? A response to summarize the knowledge base and put it in a form that's presentable to the user, right? Very standard. Now, it provides an option to choose if it's good enough, right? So basically here, is it good enough? If it's good enough, then it just continues the conversation. If it's not, then we basically have a chance to basically push for a discovery call to actually understand what the customer wants. Now, once this happens, we'll basically have a lead form to kind of capture the embedded within the Instagram bot to basically fill in the information and actually capture all the leads, which will then be sent to their CRM, which they're using Soho CRM, right? And there will also be a candidate booking link to book the appointments. Well, at the same time, it will also in the backend, it will send a make automation to the media company of the entire transcript of the conversation that happened within Voiceflow. The reason is because, well, on these sales calls, the kind of company will need to actually understand the entire conversational context to better understand what the customer actually wants. So we simply send them an automation email of a summary of the entire conversation that took place within the Instagram bots, right? Now, and from our side, we actually also save the kind of whenever the user clicked that didn't answer the questions, we actually automatically save that question answer pair within the NAIR table. It's because these are basically bad examples that the AI actually doesn't do a good job of responding to the user's question. Now, once we've got enough examples of these question answer pairs, we'll actually feed it back to the model and basically show these as bad examples of what not to do, right? And we can, over time, this will basically keep on improving the responses output from the AI model, right? Now, this is all the backend, right? Again, I basically have this point before, which is hint at providing more info and discovery calls, right? So you kind of give enough information to satisfy them, but also kind of build up that curiosity to really push them for a call. Now, the front end is basically the Tixay agents. We use Voiceflow or Tixay agents, which, if you didn't know, it's basically how we able to connect the Voiceflow bot into Instagram, one. And two, it allows customization of how the chat widget, and how the entire chatbot actually looks like on the website, on the Instagram, sorry. So this is basically for customization and conversation tracking, which allows us to actually go back to each customer interaction to actually see which customer we talk to, their Instagram profile, etc. And we can always look back. The client can always look back and actually see the conversation themselves. And Voiceflow also has its own dashboard and data analytics, so the client can know exactly what's going on and how the bot is performing each month, right? So this is kind of like the high level overview of the entire chatbot solution. Really standard, really simple, right? Again, it's not complicated by any means, right? It's not like some fancy system. It just does the job, answer FAQs, try to push them for a call, and you have all these automations going on and the lead capture process going on in the background, right? Really standard chatbot solution, right? And let me actually go ahead and show you guys the Voiceflow template that I have. Again, this is not actually the template that we use, of course, but like it's more like a simplified version that I built specifically for this video. But so you can see why it's a little bit messy. But basically, essentially, what happened is you welcome them, you ask for the name, you then generate a 6-digit identifier, and then you basically try to prompt them to ask you questions, and it basically uses the Voiceflow knowledge base, right? It captures the user's question and then it refers back to the knowledge base, and it goes through a prompt step to essentially answer the questions, right, based on the knowledge base, right? So this also, you have some bot persona going on here, and also it pretty much standard prompt engineering to basically guide the AI how to answer questions. And another thing that we keep on finding is that sometimes the chatbot will refer to itself as a separate entity, so it's specifically prompted to refer to as we and us. So like, never separate yourself from the client's company, right? Never mention you're an AI, right? So this is one of the things that we did. And again, you basically have these different buttons that you can choose, again, as you can see from the website, and pretty much follow the entire conversational flow. So if that answers your questions, we go back to the conversation, and if it doesn't, then we basically stories to say that, would you like to send an inquiry to our team where our staff members can answer your questions? And if they say yes, then we basically post to the inquiry form and basically try to push for a call with the team. Now, again, we add a trigger where whenever the users say they want to talk to a human or they want to schedule a call, it will trigger the intent and basically go through the inquiry form, lead capture form, and also the candidate booking link. So hopefully that helps. This is kind of like a high-level overview of kind of what's going on behind the scene. Again, I know it's a little bit messy, and I know that we can definitely use the new agent step, but we basically helped this client way before the agent step was even a thing in Voiceflow. So that's why you can see this more traditional logic workflow, but it still does the job. So So hopefully that kind of gives you guys a high-level idea of what the AI chatbot solution can do. And again, if you've got any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to help out if you need help with some of the settings. And yeah, hope you guys have a good one.